Come along after this and watch the next 2 parts over on Patreon entirely ad-free by joining the UG tier. Then cast a vote of what you want to see done next, plus tons more. Link below. Pretty sure, at the very least, the look of impact on his face, or reaction rather, from Luffy's attack is not something we saw when it happened before, so quick win for that. I don't know which I'm more shocked by, how quickly he's beaten them both, or that we didn't see it happen. Wanted to show that as it felt like a moment where both were maybe shocked by the other person's strength. Luffy's case was of course the poison, but I'm guessing he's also shocked by how hard Luffy hit him. Going first person for a kick there like it's no big deal. Thought that was a nice piece of cinematography right there. That being told, that must really hurt. Poor boy, only for Luffy to get back up on his own feet, screaming more in anger than pain now. There's his damn answer to, are you still not backing down? First of all, the fact that their speed differences was shown nicely here. He reacted with Poison Hydra before Luffy could attack his body. And another one, because I love that Luffy's punch is so fast, you don't see it actually hit the Hydra, just creating a hole instead. What the heck is that? Poison smoke monster? Oda really has built one giant JoJo situation right here, I think. A foe he cannot directly attack without badly injuring himself, who can self-heal largely and attack at a distance. I think it's worth a win that whilst going through all of this, where he's coughing and can barely see, that he has the mind to leap back and try and clear the fog. But sadly, unlike on Sexy Lady Island, he's able to return his poison to the area in mere seconds. The very biggest of JoJo situations though! And then that! Part of me thought there'd be a quick thing that had happened to turn the tables, but no! He's still making that threat. Now this was a shock. Him suddenly turning up before they're taken away, and that he even wants to help them. He actually did free them! Even if we didn't get to see Buggy fight him, this is arguably the better fight to witness between the groups either way. That's super quick under the breath. Who are you? Wow, you never really see Luffy like this, to be honest. It's impressive as hell. It's legit heartbreaking to see him rise to his feet again, only to miss a fairly slow attack, and then gets grabbed doing so, no doubt causing further injury. Yeah, just like that. Even though the guards lied to him, saying nothing was going on upstairs, we get this amazingly uplifting music. And there is the culmination of that brilliant song as Luffy once again rises to his feet. I'm not entirely sure why he blasted holes into the walls and then kicked into the flames. My guess was to wreck part of the solid foundations and then maybe burn the poison off, but let's go either way. Oh, and while I'm here, take a nod for him not only getting back up to keep on fighting, but now going second gear once again. He's seriously pushing himself to the limit now. Ah, that was brilliant.
24時間苦しみそして本物の
Oda totally pulled the rug out there. You get a build-up, like what I just winned in the last 2 wins, and the main character will gain the upper hand. Not here, sadly, though. That's max wins for the shock. Oh yeah, gotta have one for that ending too.
ダメだこいつ死んだかそれとも未来へ冷凍保存されたか
Man alive, how many different climate zones exist within this building? Also shocking is that this is where Luffy is being taken, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't this on the same level as Ace?
これは一体どういうことだ
The sheer volume of carnage left behind by Bon Clay.
言い訳はいい階段で上階へ逃げられたんだな
I'm wondering if perhaps everything is as it seems right now, but for the here and now, the surprise that seemingly, anyway, Bon Clay has ended up leaving them behind.
尋問部屋を開けろ。二人は私が責任を持って預かる。
I am feeling very, very sus. I think Bon gave him a slap and is now using his form. Let's see if I'm right.
一刻も早く麦ちゃんを救出するのよ
Ha! I knew it! But the reveal was still brilliant.
アチはマゼランと麦ちゃんに背を向けた時すでに命をそこに置いてきたのよ
I actually really like that sentiment. He is so ashamed at having ran off that he feels like he's died inside already and now wants to make up for it, bless him.
ダチだからよ理由なんざ他にはいらねえ
Bon Clay turning into a wind machine spitting emotions like this?
冗談じゃないわよ冗談じゃないぞなんとかしろ
I always gotta credit other voice actors who have to mimic the very specific style voiced by Bon Clay, and this guy did a stand-up job, I think.
解毒剤もないんじゃこれはまさになすすべなしということだがね
Silly win, but that he left the room alone, had that conversation, returned, and is now speaking to them again. Might sound weird, but I don't think a lot of mangakas would write like this.
いつまでもいたら熱くて体が溶けるがね
Another smaller type of win, but the heat still being referenced, would be easy to have your characters now concentrate on the main story you're writing and forget that it's really hot here.
そうよインペルダウンにはあの人がいたおかまを岩さん
Ah, that's good. Linking in another reason he was joining Luffy and heading down to level 5 in the first place. I'm guessing this guy has a power that could maybe heal Luffy? Hype!
お忘れですか副所長
ああそうかあれかあれだ
For some unknown reason, I just really chuckled at that.
あまりに不自然に人が消えてしまうこの事件を皆恐れて魔界の門へ引きずり込まれたのだと例えて
Learning about this weird thing that happens sometimes in the jail. It's not a prison break, but people go missing and they're just assumed to be gone, I guess? Ivan being one such case.
副所長の格を見せつけてやるのだといつも裸でしかも丸腰で行く様は
that is an unfortunate thing that the real Vice Warden does down here. It's so stupid.
ご勘のため電電虫全般通じませんので
An interesting piece of lore suddenly being served up for us to eat, and not bad. Not running away extremely fast on the spot.
おかまのど根性見せてやろうじゃないよ
Having Bon Clay strike up such a friendship with Luffy for this arc might be legit my favourite thing about it so far. Not running on the spot real quick again.
えれえのが入ってきたな
Legit the worst I've ever seen Luffy looking. My god. The strength of Luffy really knows few limits? A lot like Zoro, really. After the last win, it'd feel like a crying shame to just put this scene with the last one together as a single win. Nah, with that music and those visuals, it needs its own. Getting a quick understanding of the dog-eat-dog world that the prisoners live in, even when not trying to escape, just in order to survive the day. Don't even need to see the whole thing yet. The fact that he's turned up after fighting the wolves with the keys? Man, he's such a legend this arc!
You do not know but
Amazing ending. Easy ending related win. that reaction though. Seeing him actually doing something really solid in the fight for once, especially since I praised his ability so much during the arc he first pops up in. Another really clever use of his ability. See what I'm saying? He's pretty damn useful already. I'm actually giving him another one for that. He's protected them from the wind, and as you can see, they can move it too. That was totally unexpected. A very funny comment, but mainly the not running on the spot. I love how it's not just something he is saying once and that's it, he really feels terrible about it. I really do have so much love in my heart for Bon Clay right now. It's genuinely hard to believe he entered as a pretty nasty villain, and yet here he is, now having gotten Luffy out.
なんでいねえやつ探してんだ。お前それよりどうやって檻から出た?
2 wins here. 1, prisoners having this reaction instead of just chatting with someone out of their cell. And 2, the fully animated montage of Bon going around to everyone asking about Ivan.
もしもし、聞いてる?
And another one here for coming across sights like this down here, which is realistic given the cold.
私はそれを諦めないことしかできない.
Genuinely really horrible to see him like this. He's clearly wounded, freezing cold, and yet he still keeps going, and now there's bloody wolves there again. It's actually awesome to see him now be able to physically fight them. Him protecting Luffy like a legend. Double win again. Firstly, it's for some really decent animation on a weekly anime back then. That was seriously fluid and not to mention impressive. And secondly, it's the horrible feeling Oda and the animators created in my gut, seeing Bon Clay starting to lose the battle against so many of them. Luffy getting up to protect Bon with his teeth of all things. What a legend!
何してんだ? ボンちゃんから離れろ!
Easy Max wins here. It's because he cares so much for Bon. That was a beautiful moment of friendship, even after he ran away before. And it's also for another use of Haki, clearly. I think maybe they found what they were looking for.
エース公開処刑まであと26時間.
Them keep doing this reminds me of what they did in a certain arc in Hunter x Hunter, and I adore it building up the hype like that.
まるで地獄みたい.
That was actually an insanely clever trick used by Bon.
あれ君は一体そんなこといいじゃないお兄さん.
The size difference was insane there and caught me off guard for a moment, but also animating Bon Army moving through the scene.
Smash!
The randomness before saying smash when you unlock a door.
そして所長になりたい。
They picked the right guy to voice him, and just getting an update on where he has been was appreciated too.
ああ、暴動は無事鎮圧。
At the same time, getting an update on the riot that was going out of control there for a while.
見つからないはずがないわ。
I'm struggling to get over that verbal tick.
麦ちゃんはどこにいるの？
How his first thought upon waking up was of Luffy and where he is.
随分寝てたな。飲まねえか？
That is unreal. That this place exists within the damn prison. I'm shocked.
私服で料理食って酒飲んでって楽園か？いやそうか、あのまま投資して。
It's such a hilarious way of expressing himself like this.
あら、お目覚め？よく眠ってたわね。
Hell of a unique way of doing a first-person shot right there.
私の名は稲妻。失礼しちゃ。
Yuzet Capua from the Trails game series.
ライトが落ちた。
A massively done entirely by hand crowd shot. Same crowd, but now from the front, albeit more zoomed in, but still. Very brief and very unexpected kawaii.
インペルダウンレベル 5.5 番地。岩様ってまさか。
And take one here for obviously Bon having found the guy he was looking for all this time.
イワン国ヒーホー。
Great ending too, I liked that. Heck of a lot of animation involved in that dance that they really didn't have to do. Glad there's some sides like this peppered in though. Very brief but smooth rotating shot. It's yet another new and unique devil fruit ability of that. Pon totally had the right reaction there, I think.
物質がながら頼みがあるのよ。解毒剤はもう作れないレベルで式はどんどん近づいてくる。
Thankfully wasting zero time and getting right to the point of why he sought him out in the first place.
バナータの言うその麦わらボーイが説に頼むからよ。
Whilst he's doing everything he can for Luffy here, as we've just covered, it's wonderful to now find out that Luffy was doing exactly the same for him prior to him waking up. I don't know about all of you, but I think the voice actress and the animation team did such a good job in terms of showing the extreme pain Luffy was in here. Makes me feel weird. And massive credit to Luffy. In the state he's in, his first thought was for him to help Bon. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but it's another clever way of getting around, I guess. That animation though, tons of not walking on the spot for these two recently. The last one got one, so should this.
この治療が終わるまであと2日はかかる。
Correct me if I'm wrong though, Ace doesn't have that long left, right?
バナータがこの先生きたであろう人生を10年分使わせてもらう。
That is very shocking and very scary. He will lose 10 years of his life.
ほんの 2-3% の生きられる可能性を与えるだけ。
Obviously, there's no surprise here. I know he survives, but I'm still giving the shocking moment a win. I can't imagine how some people felt reading it in the manga years ago.
10時間もこうやって叫んでるの、麦ちゃん。
Bless his heart for this being his main takeaway from what is going on. That his poor friend has been in agony for 10 hours. How come his reactions are just the best though?
バナータたちがバタ足を何と呼ぼうと勝手だけど、他人にすがりついてるだけのバカを救えたことはない。奇跡なめんじゃないや。
I I did like this scene and the sentiment as well. He's not claiming to be a god or anything else. His power primarily calls on the spirit to be willing to survive, and that's what he gave Luffy. Oh, getting to see these two as kids. I think that's a first, isn't it? Solid ending there, and turns out I was right. At this rate, Luffy will be being healed for an additional day and a bit after Ace is already executed.
だって麦ちゃんだものきっと麦ちゃんなら
Bon having so much confidence in Luffy and his recovery. You'd love to see it.
っていうのもニューカマーランドへの入り口は全てのフロアにいろいろあるんだよ。
A really decent piece of lore there that explains away an issue I had with this place. One, how did so many level 5 people get down here when they're the highest bounties? Answer, they didn't. And two, how are there so many people in general? Answer, because they come from all floors.
そこを通ってバタ足たちは様々な物資を調達するわけ。
And without me even thinking about it just now, it's another one. 3, how come they have so much food and drink? Answer, they have secret passages to numerous locations within the prison.
モニター室にいるデンデムシと同じやつが一匹ここにもいてね。
And for me, that ties all of them together. It allows them to monitor potential people to join them, monitor guards as they sneak what they need, and everything else. Seriously clever.
ゴミ箱から新聞も盗んでくるのでシャバの情報もバッチリ。
And you know what? You sassy so-and-so, you score another for that little nugget. Oda even explained away how the space they're in even came to exist in the first place.
あるわよ。本物のヤバい奴らが入って。
I knew this reveal of level 6 was coming, but it was still awesome. Does this mean people even more dangerous than Ace and so on are down there potentially?
インペルダウンはその2枚看板で鉄壁を誇っていたんだよ。
Finding out about this new guy, someone as strong as the Warden, who seemingly used to do a lot more until he was no longer in the role for whatever reason.
貴様の憂さ晴らしのために囚人たちはいるんじゃないぞシリュウ。
Kinda says a lot that this guy is saying this, and we've already seen how bad things are. Makes you wonder how bad the things he was doing were.
史上最悪の助手カタリーナ・デボン、巨大戦艦サンファン・ウルフ。
And he's not content to stop there, throwing other more important sounding names at us. Man, Oda is on fire this saga.
友情に立場は関係ないのよ。
I do like this. His reply to "It's strange how you and Crocodile were enemies with Luffy and his crew before."
白ひげ海賊団の2番隊隊長ポートガス D.S.
I'm very happy with the previous wins, so keeping them where they are, but just a correction, Ace and that is also down on level 6, not 5, so my bad.
それでもし助かったとして体力の回復に3日は寝込む。
It's even worse than I thought. He's gonna be out for like nearly a week if this is true.
グランバレー！グランバレー！グランバレー！グランバレー！
Has there ever been a bigger legend for stuff like this? I don't think anyone has ever done anything like this before for a character, and so I'm finding it so amazing.
なぜおかま一人
When I see this lady, she has to get the "she's still in the anime" related win.
頑張れ！頑張れ！
More than 3 hours later, he's still doing this, even though it's causing him physical harm seemingly.
麦ちゃん。
When they do things like this, mixing it into the air break, they gotta score that win!
あちしが負けてどうすんの！
He makes me so proud of him. I'm not even kidding around, man. Getting a little emotional.
頑張れ！頑張れ麦ちゃん！
Giving Max wins here, one in his honour, and the other is for that crowd shot back there too. And you know what? Take another, because that broke the dam there. Suddenly seeing everyone joining in whilst that ever beautiful music plays. and a very rare third lot on the bounce for 3 huge crowd shots, one after the next. Them finding out about this is a big wrench in their plans, sadly, but also learning that Luffy has disappeared. Things are now really starting to heat up, baby. And how about that final visual with even more Navy ships turning up?
大戦争なんてごめんだぜ。そろそろマゼロン所長が。
Oh man, things are heating up more and more. They're almost ready to start moving Ace and... let's go! Again, no he'll be okay, but what a shock, man! Blood running out and the screaming has stopped. I think it's outstanding that even people who don't know Luffy, that being everyone but Bond really, is now torn up thinking he's passed. But also, my god, that crowd shot, come on man, good quality on it too, get out of here. No! This suddenly happening! Luffy looking horrible, but he's seemingly okay and very hungry. That's always a great sign. What a hell of a scene that entire part was. Oh my word, I'm so happy. Bond being so happy and also everyone else too. Rotating shot.
おはようございます。
今、下痢だ。
ではお早く。
This lady also still being in the anime.
食い続けるんだ。しかし、このペースで、かれこれ30分は食ってるぞ。
They did the thing! They gave me that amazing track with an even vaguely good visual and it scored a win.
なんだあの生物。
人間の姿じゃねえ。
He looks so insanely weird. One, seeing Luffy, thank God, returning to normal here just prior, bit too long to show though. And also, you just have to throw appreciation at the animation crew for the seemingly endless supply of crowd shots. Arguably more in this episode than some entire seasons of other shows. 2 more wins to round out this incredible episode. This happening. And then that happening into the ending. Solid gold that was.
ルフィ復活。
Sticking an art style change during the title sequence. They're all so damn happy for Luffy and I for one love it.
バカね冗談じゃないわよ
This simple but funny reaction when told by Luffy, I'm so glad you survived, when obviously the one hurt 900 times worse was himself. Luffy being told about what Bond did for him all those long hours, helping to try and create the spark needed for Luffy to beat what was coursing through him. 2 stunning looking art style changes.
あんたを死なせやしない
I love that music so damn much. It's so powerful.
ありがとう。おにぎる。
A really deep showing of respect for him, and rightly so. Part of the win is clearly Luffy still trying to leave, and the other is 100% animating this when they so didn't need to.
ボンちゃんはおめえを助けたくてフロアを降りてきたんだもんな。
For the final time in this area, Take Max wins for the quite insane amount of hand-done crowd shots. I talk about them a lot, but this might be the most I've seen done in a great many episodes.
脱獄する時じゃなっセブル
Just learning that he is planning a breakout at some point is very interesting.
革命家ドラゴン
ああ、俺の父ちゃんか。
そう
That was so well done. I really thought the penny wasn't going to drop as he continued talking for a while, whilst after Luffy said that. But no, it did in fact drop. He reacts to things in similar hilarious ways to how Bond does.
たった今見せた常識外れの生命力普通じゃない。十分にあり得る話。
His very logical reasoning in trying to figure out if Luffy is telling the truth, and he can't find a single ounce of doubt in what has just been told to him.
バタ足はこれから麦わらボーイとレベル6へ向かうわよ。
案内してくれんのか?
This is massive to the overall story, I think, in how he knows his father. The whole deal with the rebellion and now heading to go get Ace together. It's so good!
ドラゴンを同時に呼び寄せて政府にメリットなどないはず。
Oh, how great is it from a lore point of view that there are two huge groups out there which worry the world government and their grip on power. That visual though!
バタ足はバナータの父親の仲間革命軍の幹部よ。
Wow, the reveal that he's actually really high up in his father's ranks. That caught me off guard.
脈がある。
Putting that before and after the break like some kind of cruel, nasty, evil person.
アドレナリンってやつよ。
One of the great uses of his ability, really, to be able to make someone who has gone through what Luffy has suddenly be bursting with energy is awesome for this point of the story.
首が危ないですね。
私の首もか?
Back to smack wins, the art style change. But also his killer reactions. Such a shame he passed away. He was so damn funny in this.
レベル3への階段はもうすぐだがね。
Just like I mentioned in the last video, the fact that they're keeping us up to date on where these two are at. Avoiding the snail camera. The front gate looking seriously badass with all these warships having turned up to escort Ace.
さらに囚人を引き渡すその瞬間まで一切気を抜くことは許さん。
Makes total sense as well how they've put some of their best on the job too. One of the most packed bloody crowd shots in the entire show. Are you having a laugh? The fact alone that he's so hyped up now from the injection that he's running backwards sometimes. Likely the final not running on the spot moment in a video full of them. Luffy is 100% not messing around and I'm here for it. The power of Ivan is nothing to sniff at either.
一体どこで生きながらえてたんだ。隣にいるのは昨日の侵入者。
How Oda showed the guards to be basically besides themselves as to how someone could survive in this hellhole for years, and by the looks of it, be pretty well off for it too.
同時にマゼラン所長及び全フロアに報告.
I know he's a bad guy, but it was kinda cool to see him pissed off now and taking his job very seriously. Rotating shot they totally didn't need to do. This large additional look at everyone from the Navy proper waiting outside for Ace.
エース公開処刑まであと6時間。
Another ending with another reminder of how close things are getting. So much hype for part 68. Before I let you go, just wanted to say we're like, as of writing, 80 people away from having 700 supporters on Patreon. That's the big number for me for this year as a goal, because it means not relying on YouTube revenue at all. Please consider checking it out. Of course, a big draw is being able to watch the next 2 parts of One Piece right away. But yeah, see if you like it and help out if you fancy it. Link below, and I hope to see you there. See you next time. Steelers, DoggosForLunch, GuruThor, Emerald Ember, JHeart25, Juice, Chrono, The Swedish Muggle, Marcelus the Roman, Nexus47, Admiral Nugget, Moody Blues, Kody Tiffany, Timothy Wilcox, Curtis Daniels Jr., Tomo Sandy, Henrik Jessen, Tide Wes, David Ferrix, Flaming Blade, Olive Wharf, Furious Mo, Marlon Endriss, Salt Lover, Jokerims, Rimuru, Gamer Ludwig, Onks Khalif, Mushwin, Don, Robert Jackson, Sekomi Ororum, Starkip, Dante's Face, Miran Arjan, Cody Niemeyer, Snowy, Sarcastic Truth, Hit of the Wicked, Thrasher340, Owen Haloran, Extinct Hero, Alexander Schwartz, Dante Soul, Rodies, Dragon Boy 1, Iso, Cameron, Mudavirum, Tiger Lily Warrior, Knuckle Duster, Krystian Czuchta, Matthew Barr, Ruby Rose, Ghost Rider 176, Commander Cyrus, Cloud Garden, Luis Minito, Minimasher, Garrett Vermeesh, Ryan DeViris, Natsu Dragnil, A Joker, Willyman, Laxor, TRS, Liam Gagati, Kai158, Mr. Firecool, Wacky Normal, Zionx44, Lionel Schultz, Kevin Elston, Nozomi, Nick Monaco, Marvin, Sataiku Yari, Divikel, Christopher Willis, Michael Lewis, Cecilia, Nick Wyndham, Slazel, Guru, Cedric, Kevin 102, Sean, Darth Weirdo, Dragonstorm 35, Cumfreak, Kelnock, Marquez, Q Flash, Brainless Ben, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Your Edvinson, Kepan, Kyle Jones, Peter Milligan, John, The Elementator Wars, Amadillo, Nick Pell, Orkeeper, Jason Davies, Nightly Winter, Matthew Bluntset, Oscar I. Lopez, Jaffa 6263, Storm 970, Isel Caldera, Kevin Nauta, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Stan, Ali 50, Bird Without a Word, Chris Harris, 9028, Headshot Hunter, Brandon Creer,